Hi, my name is David Life, and today is episode 1 of Visit My Bookshelf. I will be personally visiting a few of my book club's members that have bookshelves in their houses. If you want me to visit you, please DM me as soon as possible. Today I'll be visiting Irene Okoeguale. She's one of our brightest stars, very intelligent, she owns a rice mill, she's creative, she's deep, she's spiritual, she has a beautiful bookshelf and we're going to visit it. She actually doesn't know I'm already here, so watch me as I go knock on her door. Welcome! Remember, readers are leaders.
I want to do something for ladies right now.
So good to be here. Wow. See your beautiful shelf, Irene.
Thank you for coming to see my library.
I'm so
You're welcome.
very fortunate. Please, do you have any specific name for your bookshelf?
Okay, actually no, but if I wanted to, what just popped into my head was Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Because you go on dreams when you read, and dreams do come true at the end of the day, so explore. Please, sit down.
Okay, welcome back. It's the first episode of Visit My Bookshelf with Irene Okoeguale. As you can see, she has an amazing bookshelf. So my first question to her will be, what inspired your bookshelf?
I've always loved books. Right from time I was an early reader. I was one of those children that in secondary school at JSS1 when you're reading M&B, everybody's like, this guy's a bad girl to read them. So yes, I've always loved books. Edith Blyton, Famous Five, all those books I read as a kid. So growing up, getting into university, I've always collected books. In England, I used to live in England, and I had so much books. When I was coming back, I couldn't take them all. So I used to go to parks and randomly leave books for people to find, and that's how I spread my books. So books, I've always needed to have a bookshelf in my home. It's very important.
Did it come from like your upbringing?
Yes, I would think so. My dad was a journalist. Yes, he was a journalist. He was the essay to Shagari. He was his senior special advisor on media.
Wow.
So I think from that point, yes, probably he influenced me. He always had books, old books. I will show you some that I took from my dad's library. Yeah.
Wow. Now, you said you're going to show me some of the books you took from your dad's library.
Yes.
Before you do that, what inspires the books you put on your bookshelf?
Oh gosh, the books need to make sense. They need to give me some kind of meaning. They need to not only be just a story, but a story that teaches me something. That is what will make it reach my bookshelf. Although I'll read anything, but for it to be on my bookshelf, it has to have a meaning.
Now, what kind of inspiration are you looking for from the books on your bookshelf?
Every time I want to learn something new. I want to improve myself. I want to better my life. I want to be a better human being. So every book I read, I always try to find something in it that I didn't know. And you can never stop learning. So for me, it's to learn.
I know you're a very busy woman. I won't waste too much of your time.
Anytime for you.
Your top 3 books on your bookshelf, and you have to point them.
Okay, my top 3 books on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
I would start with this one.
One.
This, I don't really talk about the girl message a lot because it means that much to me. I'm a seeker of knowledge, I'm a seeker of my inner self, and the girl message to me answered every single question I've ever had about who I am, where I'm going, how I'm to live my life in order to align with the universe. So if that's something that speaks to you, then I would definitely advise you read In the Light of Truth, The Girl Message by Abdurrahim. So this is my personal copy. It's normally on my bedside. I brought it out for this particular event. After which, I would point out this book. This is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. This is like a new copy, but it was written a very, very long time ago. And it just teaches you about life and relating with human beings. It's a must read. Can I read one line from this one? Okay. So, it is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. The art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. Those are the moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, method, and discipline. So it teaches you how to apply these laws. One of the things I remember from this book is when you're facing an enemy and he's attacking from a higher ground, you must retreat. It sounds foolish, you want to attack, but an enemy on a higher ground will always be better than you. You have to go and re-strategize. So it teaches you that art of war, how to relate with people, how to negotiate yourself around conditions and you can apply it to your daily life. So I really love this book. There's some books I will talk about, but they are not on my library. So the final book I wanted to talk about is my dad's book. You can't come to my house and I will not talk about the one person that influenced my reading culture. My dad was not only a politician, a journalist, a businessman, but he also had passion for this country, and that's why I think I also have my passion for Nigeria. He wrote this book, Indiscipline and Social Malady, the Nigerian Experience, and it tells about a time in Nigeria, a breaking point in Nigeria, at which we moved from having discipline to starting to have indiscipline. Nigeria used to be a country where, school fees was non-payable. Everybody used to go to school. There was buses, there was meals. The naira at one point was 1 naira to £1. We moved from there to now naira is 1 naira to £600. And my dad wrote this book at the time when he saw the signs were appearing, and he wanted to put out a voice to the society to pay attention at what's going on in the society that is taking us away from the way we were meant to be as a country. And they used these books in law school.
Wow.
Yes, they used it in law school. I saw a friend of mine came and visited. She was like, we used this in law school. And I was like, oh wow, it's even on Amazon. But I don't know who has it on Amazon.
Oh my God, we should check out. Maybe they're collecting our daddy's money.
Yes, there's a sequel to it. Yes, this one. Part 2 of it, the Nigerian a legacy for future generations. So I would advise people to go back and learn how Nigeria was supposed to be so that we can apply it in our everyday life and make our country a better place. It's all about creating an environment where everybody can grow.
Thank
you.
Amazing. Okay, I just have 2 more questions.
Yes.
No, I want to learn something from you because I've known you for, I think, a few years now, and I can say you're a very fascinating person. But you taught me something just back there. The law of 6, something like that.
Yes, 6 degrees of separation law. That's something I read in a book, I'm not sure which, but there's a law or a theory. It's called the 6 degrees of separation. And it tells us that whoever or whatever you're trying to achieve, you only need 6 people to get it. So you start with one person who will know another person who will know another person, and you need a maximum, not a minimum, a maximum of 6 people to achieve whatever you want to achieve or whoever you want to see. And I watched a documentary on this where this young man, they videoed him, and he wanted to meet the President of the United States, and he actually, from calling one person, that person knew one person in the Senate, he got to meet Senate President, and that person said, okay, let me see what we can do, and picked another person, and maximum of 6 people. So it's a 6 degrees of separation law.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go a little bit outside of the physical books. Are there any movies that were turned in books that were converted into movies that you actually like watching?
Yes. Which one would I say?
And when are you giving us our next movie session? And by the way, since we started the book club, she's the only one that has actually hosted a movie session. And I think that day, the session lasted for, oh God knows how long. I got tired. Everybody, a few people got tired, but some people stuck to it though. The title of the movie, you need to watch it, Interstellar.
Interstellar!
You want to tell us about the movie a little bit?
Interstellar is a great movie. It takes time, but it takes time, and it's all about time.
But
Yeah, it's all all about time, the way time operates, the way times move, and in the end, time doesn't actually move. We're the ones that are rushing in time. Time stands still. It doesn't depend on where you are. There's something that Mr. Life taught me. He says, somebody told somebody that life no balance. And the person replied that it's not life that no balance, it's you that didn't stand well. So that's how time is. Time doesn't wait for no one. You have to stand well in time. So read that.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings, though.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite books. It's not here, but one of my favorite books that got turned into a movie. If you read the book, you will know that as great as the movie is, it does not compare to the book.
Okay, the first book you read that stuck.
The first book I read that stuck. Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist.
Do you want to tell us, a few of us that haven't read the book, about
If you haven't read The Alchemist, I'm sure a lot of people claim it as their favorite book because it is a great book. It's about going around in circles only to come back and realizing that what you thought you didn't have was already always with you. You know, and that's the journey of the young man in this particular book. So you should go and read. I won't tell you too much about it, but you should really read it. He went through life and his experiences taught him a lot.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us. I would like for you to encourage people that are not really into reading and probably why you think reading is important and why it's a fundamental.
Oh gosh, reading is so important because it opens up your world. It gives you an eye into different dimensions. I forgot to point out the oldest book in my library. This book is so fragile. It's called Sappho. It was written in 1884 and I got this copy. See how old it is? From a bookstore. So you can go back in time reading books. You can go into worlds or explore places that you don't even need to leave your house. You can learn so many things and expand your mind and your knowledge field so that you can apply it in your everyday life just by reading books. I have a section on baking. Bakery books. So if you're looking to improve your skills, things that you're passionate about, get a book. You will find recipes, you will find how to do things, how to build a machinery, how to build a generator. There's a book for it. And if that's what you're interested in, go and find it. It's in a book.